Welcome back to the Paranormal Review. Today I was going to go up to Tibble Reservoir, just up the road a little bit, and I was going to go see what that area where that one sighting happened was during the winter instead of during. I did a review. I went up there and walked around and found the spot where that sighting happened, and it was during the spring. So, almost spring. There wasn't any snow, I don't remember, actually, in that review. So I wanted to go up in there during the snowy season and get what it looked like. Unfortunately, there's a lot of construction up there right now. The dam is being worked on, apparently. The road is open to get up there, but it's just the snow is so thick right now, and all that construction happening. There's not really anywhere to park, and there's too much noise to really do a decent quality video for you guys. So I wasn't able to make it up there. I will go in a few weeks, and hopefully that construction is either finished or at least there'll be less snow and I can actually get to that spot. I doubt I could even get to that spot right now, which tells me that it's a lot of snow up there during this time. Anyways, guys, I'm out here in the forest. I don't see a ton of... I was kind of hoping to see some more interesting stuff. There's tons of footprints, and this is kind of the funny thing. I'm going to have to pull this camera off real quick. So I was noticing some interesting things where some people, that make videos would misinterpret as a Bigfoot print. Okay, so for example, let me turn this exposure down a little bit. So for example, you got this footprint here, right? This one right here, it's really small, right? However, walk over here a little bit, you get some bigger footprints, like this one here. Okay, it's not huge, but you can see how the snow is rounded out. Okay, you can see how the snow is melted. Okay, so whoever made this footprint, their foot was not this big. Okay, this is not the biggest footprint. I mean, I'm not saying this is a huge footprint at all. That's not my point. My point is the rounding of the snow here. Okay, you see how it's freshly fallen snow also? It also gives the impression that it's a bigger footprint than it really is, because that footprint is really inside here. There's been a couple more inches of snow that's fallen on there as well, so that also gives the impression that it's bigger than it really is. Okay, the other thing is it has melted outwards as well. You can tell because there's no impressions in there. You can tell also because there's parts of it are harder. You can just dig some of this out, but you can basically look at that and go, okay, well, that footprint is not normally that big. Okay, so which leads me to the impression, for example, if I step here, okay, try to tell on this, but do you see how sharp those lines are that my foot made? Okay, it's not rounded at all. These edges on here are completely sharp. Okay, as more snow falls or the snow melts, these corners are going to melt off. Okay, and it's going to start looking something like this. Okay, and as more snow falls, when the snow melts, this footprint is going to get larger and larger. Come back in a few more days, that footprint's going to look huge compared to what it actually looks like, or what it actually is truthfully. That's why I tell you guys to use caution when you're out in the forest and you see a big footprint. It's not always going to be a sasquatch. Many times it's just that. It's just a person made a footprint. Over the next 3 or 4 days, the snow has either collapsed off the top, melted out, or more snow has fallen on top of it, making that the appearance of it being bigger than it really ever was. So I'm not saying there's not big footprints out there. There are, but just be very skeptical. Okay, we want to have the best evidence. We want to have good evidence. We don't want to just use everything we find as evidence of Bigfoot. Okay, so when you're out there looking for big footprints, you want to look for dermal ridges. You want to look for toe prints. You want to look for the heel, the arch, and the front of the pad. Okay, I'm not a footprint expert. Okay, I have my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, so I did take a few forensics types classes. So I'm not, the super expert, but I know somewhat of what I'm talking about when I'm observing things. Okay, I spend a lot of time out in nature. I'm not a armchair couch person, but you don't want to. If you look at a footprint and it's just flat, okay, most of the time that's just going to be a shoe. Okay, even if the shoe print, even if all the tread is not visible anymore for whatever reason, if you stepped in mud and it's been just worn over by water or wind, or if the snow, for example, melts or more snow ends inside that shoe, you're gonna get shoe that is going to be just flat though. Okay, sometimes even when you have a foot that steps in snow or in mud or dirt, a lot of times those derma ridges or the pads in the arch are still visible even when some more stuff falls on top of it, because it still keeps the same shape even though it'll maybe build up a little bit, if that makes any sense. Not often, but sometimes it will. Sometimes it'll just go flat also because of distribution of whatever debris is falling on it or how the wind blows it. So guys, my point is, keep your eyes out, keep looking, keep your cameras sharp, and don't ever use false evidence as evidence of Bigfoot, because it can be disproved. Okay, that's the problem. I mean, even real evidence people are skeptical of. So we don't want to make ourselves look crazy and stupid by posting crap. A good example is like last year there was a drone video which I debunked, and the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization or whatever went out there and did their own research and found some hairs and said, okay, this is for sure real because of these hairs. And I still said that it was fake. Everyone else, a lot of other reviewers were saying, hey, this one's for sure real. They found hair. It's legitimate, blah, 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 blah. I still maintained that it was fake. A lot of people gave me crap about it. And then 2 days later, the people who made it came out with a video admitting that it was fake, showing how they did it, with what Bigfoot suit they did it with, and it made all these people look really bad. And that's my point, is you don't want to justify your research by if you find hair, you need to test that hair. You can't just be like, oh, I found a hair, it's a Bigfoot hair. It could be deer, it could be buffalo, it could be a bear, it could be anything. It could be human hair, for all you know, unless you've gotten it tested. So anyways, guys, until next time, please subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys later.